שירו לאדוני, שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני, כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני, ברכו שמו, בזכו מיום ליום ישועתו. שירו לאדוני, שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני, ברכו שמו, בזכו מיום ליום ישועתו. ספרו בגויים כבודו, לכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים. שירו לאדוני, שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני, ברכו שמו, בזכו מיום ליום ישועתו. ספרו בגויים כבודו, לכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים. שירו לאדוני, שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני, ברכו שמו, בזכו מיום ליום ישועתו. ספרו בגויים כבודו, לכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים. שירו לאדוני, שירו לאדוני, שירו לאדוני. ספרו בגויים כבודו, לכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים. שירו לאדוני, שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני, ברכו שמו, בזכו מיום ליום ישועתו. שירו לאדוני, שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני, כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני, ברכו שמו, בזכו מיום ליום ישועתו. שירו לאדוני, שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני, ברכו שמו, בזכו מיום ליום ישועתו. ספרו בגויים כבודו, לכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים. שירו לאדוני, שיר Maslumiom le'yom Yeshuato.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We're going to start our service singing Hine Ma Tov. Hine Ma Tov u'manayim, Shabbat Achim gam yachad. Hine Ma Tov u'manayim, Shabbat Achim gam yachad. Hine Ma Tov, Hine Ma Tov. Ya la la ya la 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 la. Hine Ma Tov, Hine Ma Tov. Ya la la ya la 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 la. Hine Ma Tov u'manayim, Shabbat Achim gam yachad. Hine Ma Tov u'manayim, Shabbat Achim gam yachad. I'm so glad that some of our congregants have already grabbed their musical instruments. This is Shabbos, as it is every Saturday, but a special opportunity to get up and dance and sing, to use all different kinds of instruments. Sometimes that's our voices, sometimes that's our hands, sometimes that's a good slapper or a shaker or an egg or maybe all three, right? Especially if they're pink, my favorite color. So actually purple's my favorite color. I shouldn't tell a lie. But we should know that we're all here to be ourselves and celebrate and welcome Shabbat together. We're going to start our service on page 169 on the bottom as we share in this opening reading together. So we're going to read responsively, 169. We give thanks to you, O God, for this Shabbat day, which unites us as a community of faith and hope together, for the holiness of Shabbat, which can lead us to fulfill the best that is in us. We give thanks. For the memories of Shabbat, enriched by generations of our people who observed it and from it drew courage to face hardship and light to banish darkness, we are grateful. We offer thanks for the peace of Shabbat, the day consecrated to family love. O God, our turning to you exalts our humanity. You are the joy of our life, the source of its greatness, its power, and its beauty. Help us, O God, to find inspiration for the coming week. Help us to find peace within ourselves and one another. We're going to turn together right now to page 173. We're going to offer two prayers. The first is a prayer of gratitude for our bodies. The fact that we were able to get up out of bed this morning and make our way here. The fact that things work pretty well most of the time. And then after we do that blessing, we turn to page 174 and we sing a prayer of gratitude for the blessing of our souls as human beings, our ability to intuit good and bad and to make choices, not always perfect choices, but to be able to go back and make a better choice the next day. So join me on 173 as we read in the English. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe. With divine wisdom, you have made our bodies, combining veins, arteries, and vital organs into a finely balanced network. Wondrous maker and sustainer of life, were one of them to fail, how well we are aware. We would lack the strength to sustain life before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, source of our health and strength. Baruch atah Adonai, rofecho basar, umafli la'asot. Page 174. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. On page 180, we share together in these words a rabbinic teaching, Elu Divarim She'ein Lahem Shior, that reminds us of our obligations to each other, to our family and our friends, but also to our greater community, even the people we don't know, to make our world more whole. So join with me. These are things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, while the principle remains in the world to come. They are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. But the study of Torah encompasses them all. We're going to turn, it's our last big page turn, I think, I promise, all the way to page 195. And we're going to rise and face the ark for the Baruch Hu, our call to worship. Baruch Hu Adonai, Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai, Hamevorach le'olam va'ed. On page 195, we continue with Yotzer Or. Baruch Ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Yotzer Or uvarei choshech, Oseh shalom uvarei et hakol, Hameir la'aretz v'ladarim aleha berachamim, Uvtuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh bereshit. Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai, kulam b'chochma asita, Mal'ah ha'aretz kinyanecha. Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu, al shevach ma'aseh yadecha, ve'al me'orei or she'asita yifa'arucha salah, or chadash al tzion ta'ir, v'nizkechu lanu me'hera le'oro, Baruch ata Adonai, Yotzer ha'me'orot. On page 199, we read responsively. O God, inspiration and guide for all, you have spoken in 1,000 tongues for us to hear. In every land and every age, your children have heard you and imagined you in separate ways. And yet, O God, you are one, unifier of humanity. We give thanks for the sages and teachers who bring us understanding of your will. Gratefully, we recall the lawgivers and prophets, the psalmists and sages of Israel. And joyfully, we remember that from the dawn of Israel's life, we return to you and find purpose. May the teachings of our ancestors live on in our minds, and their passion for righteousness stir our hearts. Help us to live so that our daily conduct reveals the beauty and wisdom of your truth. Baruch ata Adonai habocher ba'amo Yisrael ba'ahava. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Baruch Shem Yevod Malchuto le'olam va'ed. You may be seated. We continue chanting V'ahavta on page 201. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol me'odecha v'hayu advarim ha'ela asher anochi metzavecha hayom alevavecha Veshinanta levanecha, v'nibarta b'ham, v'shiftecha b'veitecha, u'v'lechtecha v'derech, u'shokbecha u'v'kumecha, u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha, u'ktavtam al mezuzot beitecha, ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Emet. On page 204, I hope you have an instrument. It's not officially a time to rise, but if you want to get up and dance, this is a good time. We're going to sing Mi Chamocha, reminding ourselves of the moment when the Israelites passed from Egypt across the Red Sea to freedom. 204. On page 205, we rise for the tefillah. Adonai sifatai tifta ufi agita gilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanara, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Chonei Hachol, V'Zocher Chasdei Ahavot v'Imahot, U'Mevii Geula Livnei V'neihem, L'ma'an Shema Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magid, Baruch atah Adonai, Magid Avraham Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol Atara V'Hoshiach, Morid Hatal, Mechachel Chayim Bechesed, Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Samech Noflim V'Rofeh Cholim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mechayeh Be'emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha B'Gevurot, U'Mido Melech, Melech Meimit U'Mechayeh, U'Matzmiach Yeshua, V'Ne'em ata l'chayot hakol. Baruch ata Adonai mechayeh hakol. Page 208. Nekadesh et shimcha ba'olam, כשם שבקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוא כל הארץ, כיבודו. Atir adirenu Adonai, Adonenu v'adir shimcha b'chol haaretz. Baruch kevod Adonai mimkomo. Echadu Eloheinu, hu avinu malkeinu, hu Moshiach v'hu Yashmienu, v'racham aleinei kol chai. Ani Adonai Elohechem, yimloch Adonai le'olam, Elohai Yitzion, l'dor v'dor. Hallelujah. L'dor v'dor nagigod lecha, u'lenetzach netzachin kedushatcha natish, v'shilchacha Eloheinu mipinu lo yavush, le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Okay, please be seated. On the bottom of 210, we continue with the Shamru as we praise God for the gift of Shabbat, the refreshment, the time out that it provides. The Shamru, page 210. Yes? No? It's all right. Yismachu? Yismachu, page 211. Sorry. Yismachu v'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'chorei onei Shabbat. Yismachu v'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'chorei onei Shabbat. Mekadashei Shavi Shabbat, Kulam Yisbehu, Ve'yitangu mitu becha Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, v'chorei onei Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, v'chorei onei Shabbat. V'hashvi ratzita bo v'kiddush Shabbat. Chemdat yamim, oto karat Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, v'chorei onei Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, v'chorei onei Shabbat. Zecher l'maseh v'reshit Shabbat. Zecher l'maseh v'reshit Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, v'chorei So the next part of our prayers has to do with thanks, offering God thanks for the blessings we receive. So I'm going to invite everyone, young and old, to think about something they're grateful for, particularly to do with the summer. I was reading in the New York Times this morning that the editor had asked people to say what was going to be the special thing that they did during the summer. And people said everything from eating ice cream as much as possible to reading a certain book to gardening to all different kinds of things. What is something you are especially grateful for summer? Close your eyes, think about it for a moment. I might ask for some examples. Okay, who wants to share, young or old, what is something you are grateful for, particularly having to do with summer? I know we're very grateful for this beautiful little baby right over here. Anyone have a thing they're grateful for summer? You grateful for something? No? I'm looking at you. Yeah. Getting to relax, no homework. Yeah? Nice, no homework. Anyone else? Yeah. Anyone else? Relax, grateful for summer? Avoiding the heat and having a special place to go to look forward to. I bet like every summer. Yeah? Yeah. Gorgeous. Special trips. Yeah. Yeah. Wonderful. Special family gatherings. I'm grateful for watermelon and berries being like in season and tasting particularly delicious. And no offense on Bar Shop, I'm particularly grateful to not have religious school for a few weeks and actually have a day that is with my family. That's a day off. Nice to have a little break before we gear back up for all our learning and exciting things. I'm sure you are too. So for all the things we're grateful for summer and everything else, we share in our Chatima on page 215, Baruch Atah Adonai, Hatov Shimcha Ulecha Na'eh Lehodot. We sing Sim Shalom on page 216. Sim, sim, sim shalom, sim, sim, sim shalom, sim, sim, sim shalom, tova veracha. Sim, sim, sim shalom, sim, sim, sim shalom, sim, sim, sim shalom, tova veracha. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Sim, sim, sim shalom, sim, sim, sim shalom, sim, sim, sim shalom, tova uveracha. So take a few moments for your own personal prayers, something else you're grateful for, or just the prayers that are in your heart. It's right underneath the chair. Page 219, we sing Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom Imrova, Oyaseh Shalom Aleinu, Le'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru Amin, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. So some of you know when we have our special family-friendly service, we don't read from Torah, but we do tell a wonderful Shabbat story. And we have our wonderful director of congregational learning, Ellen Barshoff, who is here to tell us a story. So if you would like to come and sit on the floor with us, people of all ages, we do happen to have some lollipops if you would like. You can also just grab a lollipop and go back and sit with your family. But we're gonna sit on the floor, eat our lollipops while we tell the story. Just one, just one. Pick your favorite, just one. They're dum-dums, they're very small. Sit down. It's gonna be, and moms and dads or grandparents are welcome to sit with their children if that's a thing they wanna do or feel, oh, did we bang our head? All right.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Good morning, everyone. I chose today a special story that I really like reading to my grandchildren when they were a little bit smaller. This is called Sammy Spider's First Shabbat. Early Friday morning, Sammy Spider looked out the Shapiro's kitchen window. Josh was turning on the garden hose. Suddenly, a spray of water hit the window, and Sammy jumped back, snapping a strand of his web. The water on the window, it just made him jump back. It snapped a strand of his web. "Mother," he called as he began to fall. Miss Spider caught Sammy mid-air. "What's Josh doing?" Sammy asked, catching his breath. "He's watering the flower beds," she explained. "Tonight, when the family gathers for Shabbat dinner, Miss Shapiro will put fresh flowers on the table." "Will we celebrate Shabbat too?" Sammy asked. "Silly little Sammy," answered Miss Spider. "Spiders don't celebrate Shabbat. Spiders spin webs and a spider. And you need to fix the new hole in our web." "I'll fix it later," said Sammy. He was busy watching Miss Shapiro unpack a bag full of groceries for Shabbat dinner. Sammy looked down at all the food. "I wish I could celebrate Shabbat," he thought. But when he saw his torn web reflected in the wine bottle, he remembered his mother's words. Spiders don't celebrate Shabbat. Spiders spin webs. "I'll fix it later," thought Sammy, following Josh into the dining room. Josh put a bottle of wine on the table. He took out a Kiddush cup, and he put out candlesticks and candles. The tablecloth reminded Sammy of a huge spider web, and he remembered the hole in his web. "I'll fix it later," he thought. Instead, he wandered back into the kitchen. Josh had finished lunch, and he was helping Miss Shapiro make challah. She kneaded the dough and divided into 3 parts. Josh rolled each strip and placed them side by side. Miss Shapiro took one strip and crossed it over the middle strip. Then she took another strip and crossed it back over the other way. "Left over the middle, then right over the middle," she said. She did this again and again. And when she was finished, it looked like this. It looked just like this. Her challah looked just like this, braided and beautiful. You'll have some in just a little bit, I promise. Sammy watched carefully. Left over the middle, then right over the middle. He repeated, practicing on the strands of his web. The effort made him tired, and he dozed off. Josh went up to his bedroom. It was time to clean up his toys. Sammy woke up to the sound of music. The sun was setting. The Shapiros were gathered around the dinner table singing, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. I wish I could celebrate Shabbat, Sammy thought, as he watched Miss Shapiro light the candles and recite the blessings. Everyone sang the blessings over the wine and the challah. Miss Spider crawled over to Sammy and gave him a hug. "My goodness, you have fixed our web," she exclaimed. To his surprise, Sammy saw that the web had been neatly braided, just like the Shabbat challah. Sammy listened while Mr. Shapiro read Josh a bedtime story. He climbed up his web and fell asleep. The next morning, Sammy watched Josh get dressed for synagogue, just like you did today. He chose his favorite sweater, and he wore a kippah. He wore his kippah to synagogue. Well, when the Shapiros left for Shabbat services, Sammy climbed up his web and noticed a tiny new hole. "I wish I could celebrate Shabbat," he told his mother, "but I guess I need to fix our web again. I remember how. Left over the middle, right over the middle." He said, "I guess I'll do it now." "Oh no," smiled Miss Spider. "Shabbat is the day of rest. You can fix it later." Shabbat shalom.
Making challah does take a lot of concentration. So, thinking about Shabbat and the special time of celebration that it is, we're going to have a very special celebration, a blessing for Eliza. So if you are part of Eliza's family and are coming up on the bima with me, I invite you to do that. And Ellen, maybe you can help me also hand out these.
Of course.
Ceremony here. Give you one of these. Yeah. Give you one of those. One of those. You're gonna take one and come on up with us. Yeah. Do you have a part? Yeah. Yeah, just everyone. That's it. But we're going up. Come on up. Up to the beam. I know we are going to bless this baby in front of the open ark, but everyone in the congregation can stay seated, but everyone in the Fisher family should come up close. I have a microphone for you. Come up close. In the presence of Torah. We're all right in front of the open ark. I know. Excellent. Okay. Everyone follow along. There is, I don't know if there's a part for you, but we'll see. Okay. God, and we're going to face the ark so that she is in the presence of Torah. All right. God and Creator, a happy family has come into your presence with grateful hearts. Give them the wisdom to teach Eliza to be faithful to the heritage and the household of Israel, that she may grow up with the knowledge that you are always near to her, guiding and sustaining her. May she come to see through the love of family that you, O God, are our spirit which unites us all. Holy One of blessing, grant this little girl health of mind and strength of body, that she may enjoy fullness of years and may be blessed with the gift of godlike growth and the ability to discover the wonders of our world more and more each and every day.
O God, for the gift of this child, I give thanks, praying that I will ever continue to be worthy of the blessing and sacred responsibility of parenthood. May I show our gratitude to you by leading my daughter in the way of righteousness. Teach me to guide her in goodness. May I instruct her with compassion and wisdom so that she may grow up loving humanity and bringing honor to the name of Israel. Help me and my family guide Eliza so that she may grow into a humane, thoughtful, and holy human being, a child worthy of your blessing.
And we all say together, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu al kiddush hachayim. Blessed are you, O God, whose presence fills creation, and by whom we are sanctified when we fulfill the mitzvah of sanctifying life. Our God and God of our mothers and our fathers, sustain this child through her mother's loving care. Let her be known among our people Israel by the name Esther Shoshana Bat Miriam Esther. May everyone join with me. May her name be a source of joy to her and inspire her to serve our people and all humankind. May her mother rejoice in her growth of body and soul as she has brought her daughter into the covenant. So may she, with wisdom and patience, lead her to a life filled with Torah, the blessing of learning and community, Chuppah, a loving relationship worthy of God's blessing, and Ma'asim Tovim, the pursuit of good deeds. Amen. Okay, Granny, Suzanne, they're already there. Use the microphone.
We are thankful for the blessing you have bestowed upon us. We have been granted a new grandchild to love, the start of the next chapter in our family's chronicle. May our grandchild grow up in health and happiness.
It's okay.
May her dear mother find much joy in the years that lie before her. O God of life, may she raise her child with wisdom and understanding. May she teach her the ways of righteousness, lead her to the study of Torah and the practice of love and kindness.
May our family be granted the joy of seeing Eliza develop all of her gifts. May we know the joy of helping her fulfill the best that is in her.
May this child be blessed with happiness, goodness, and wisdom. May she be sharing light to all who know her, and may she courageously do what must be done.
May we know the joy of passing on to a new generation our values, our stories, and our traditions. Then our prayers will have been answered as we share in the joy of our children and grandchildren. Amen.
I am so thankful for the many joys with which my life has been blessed. Now another great goodness has come to me, the miracle of new life, the wonder of welcoming my daughter into my family, a new life to hold, to behold, to love. Eliza, may you grow up in health and happiness, to become a blessing to our family, our friends, and all who come to know you.
And so I offer Eliza the Birkat Kohanim, the priestly benediction. And I hope she doesn't wake up. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Yaher Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha. May God deal kindly with you and be gracious unto you. Yisah Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Shalom. May God's radiant presence shine upon you, Eliza, and grant you life's choicest blessings of health and wholeness, abounding family love, and peace. Amen. And we all say together, Mazel Tov. So she now officially has her Hebrew name. I have just a few items, some parting gifts, as I like to call them. Come on over here. We have a special naming certificate for her that recognizes that she received her Hebrew name here at Temple Beth-El today on June 17th, the 28th of Sivan. So when you enroll her in religious school and they say, what's her Hebrew name? You're like, oh, I have that certificate somewhere. It's a nice thing. And then we have two things for her, I think. Number one, we have a special Torah so that the feelings of the love of Torah, the stories of our tradition will be safe and cushy and, baby-proofed and all those things. No eyes, no choking hazards on our special Torah. And then also, because I know Eliza, that this is where your mom grew up. You have a very special Temple Beth-El onesie that when you maybe get a little bigger, you're gonna wear. Yes, and here's the thing, like right now, nothing, you're like, everything is so small, and then bam, it's just gonna be fitting in this in no time. So with all these wonderful gifts from our congregation to you and your beautiful family, we're so glad that you were able to name her here. And Mazel Tov. You're an uncle again, huh? Yeah. Pretty cool. Yeah, absolutely. All right. And now we're going to continue with the concluding portion of our service. Page 283, we rise for Aleinu. If anyone under the age of, let's say, 13 wants to come up on the bima with me and open the ark, you're welcome to come up and join me. So you might need parental supervision if your parents deem that necessary. But you can come on up. We do not want to miss the opportunity. Anyone else? Anyone else? All right. I'm going to open. You want to help me pull the cord? Come on. Step up there. There we go. Ready? Let's do it together. Good job. One more. Very cool. Very cool. All right, Aleinu, page 283. Aleinu l'shabach l'adon hakol, l'teit gedula l'yotzei breshit, shehu sam chalkenu l'yached et shemo, v'gohar Aleinu l'amlich malchuto, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Page 287. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz v'yom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo We're good? Let's do it. You're gonna, yeah, I need your help. Good. We're good. Next year. Perfect. Thank you, everybody. Everyone can have a seat. And if it's better. As we prepare to share in the words of Kaddish, we turn to page 290, Memorial Meditation number 4, words by the poet Walt Whitman. Why should I wish to see God better than this day? I see something of God in each hour of the 24 and each moment then. In the faces of men and women, I see God, and in my own face in the glass. I find letters from God dropped in the street, and everyone is signed by God's name. And I leave them where they are, for I know that wheresoe'er I go, others will punctually come forever and ever. Thinking of the gift of generations, the ability to be here and know that those who came before us have made us who we are. We remember those whose yahrzeits occur this week, their families remembering them. Dr. Z. Alexander Ahrens, Harry Baden, Hyman Baruch, Martin Burns, Marjorie L. Block, Paul R. Kaplan, Celine Pye Davidson Dannenbaum, Blanche Davis, Maxine Duboff, Maurice Ferguson, Elsa Franco, Miriam Gerson, Helen Gindi, Jay Ginsberg, Muriel Green, Rebecca Greenblum, Boris Grinman, Wallace Hughes, Martha Breadlove Kahn, Leo S. Karen, Leslie Sarah Kittler, Dr. Harvey Comet, Becky Feinsilver Krasnow, Pearl Krause, Harry Krawitz, Nathan Landau, Samuel Neer, Natalie Olton, Eveline Oppenheimer, Nikki Penner, Sam Penner, Philip Pfeiffer, Janet Pfeiffer, Gertrude Trudy Pollack, Sam Reinke, Clay Burgle Rips, Leon Rosenthal, J. Lewis Rubin, David Scherer, Bernie Smith, Eva Solomon, Florence Rono Strelke, Benjamin Sheriff, Seymour Sheriff, Harvey Taman, Dr. Arthur Skip Urbach, Marcelo Gabriel Wechter, and Hazel Wolf. To their memories, we link the names of those who have died in the last 30 days, their families in a period of Shloshim. We remember Lois Cahodas, Cecilia Leon Myers, Martha Lewis Marshall, and John Lazarus, as well as Delmira Lowe. And we remember those who died who've been laid to rest this past week, their families in a period of Shiva. Abraham Ribak, husband of Myra, father of Temple members David and Amy Sokol, Jenny and Rich Wolkowitz, Sam and Dawn Ribak, and Nancy and Anthony Altadona, grandfather of Jessica, Allison, Jake, Zoe, Phoebe, Talia, Solomon, and Filippo. We also remember Jay Silverman, husband of Mary Pat Mitchell Silverman, father of Darcy and Jeff Lessel, Todd and Lori Silverman, and Carrie Silverman and Gabe Arietta, and brother of Sharon Morton and grandfather of Malky Lessel, Claire, Elizabeth, and Samuel Silverman. We remember William Schlosser, husband of Patricia Schlosser, father of Nina and John Elgin, and brother-in-law of Michael and Ruth Molinas. And we remember Alfred Thomas, uncle of Carl and Chris Brown, and Tiffany Bernice Brown, niece of Carl and Chris Brown. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for blessing, along with the memories of those who we keep in our own hearts every day. We rise together as one congregation, turning to page 294 to share in the words of the Mourner's Kaddish together. Yit kadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divra chirite v'hamlich malchute, v'chayachon u'vyomechon u'v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'v'yizman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mivarach le'olam omei omaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudesha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiram ba'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu va'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru, amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, amen. Our closing song is Bim Bam. The words are Bim Bam and Shabbat Shalom, so you don't need the words in a prayer book. Join us after our service in the stall gallery for Kiddush and Motzi and light refreshments, and then if you desire, stay after for an informal light lunch to celebrate Shabbat together. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, hey Shabbat shalom, hey Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, hey Shabbat shalom, hey Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, hey Shabbat shalom. Shabbat Shalom. We would love it if you would take your various colorful instruments and place them in the basket on your way out. Shabbat Shalom. They will be disinfected for the next time.